Best tips to know zodiac signs secretly hate you. How each zodiac sign acts when they hate you in secret. Learn the most effective hints and indicators of this. Hatred may be a strong word, but there are times when we cannot help but express our hatred for someone. In the same way that astrology describes the positive and negative characteristics of each zodiac sign, it also describes what each sign dislikes or detests. Some zodiac signs are much more comfortable with their hatred, whereas others employ the avoid and disappear strategy in the hopes that it will work. There's a reason you despise the individual you do. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't even be considering them. Aries. Say, I hate you, without hiding your feelings. According to the signs of the 12 zodiacs that despise you, Aries has an upright temperament. When they like someone, they are enthusiastic and forthright, but when they dislike someone, they behave in a rude manner. They typically state, I hate you, and, stop talking to me, without equivocation. Sheep are frequently perceived as arrogant and malicious due to their blunt nature. But if an Aries says this, they no longer want to be involved with you and have no serious intentions. If you communicate with an Aries, there is no need to guess the hidden meaning, because this person cannot say that without concealing it and dislikes insinuation. This trait of personality is also very beneficial in all relationships. However, if the relationship is unfamiliar, the straightforwardness of Aries may offend others. Taurus. Avoiding each other by making excuses. Compared to likes and dislikes, Taurus places a greater emphasis on preferences. Taurus can do things they don't like for their own benefit, but if they truly despise someone, they will find ways to avoid meeting them, including hiding. The use of such avoidance strategies so as not to hurt the feelings of two individuals. In reality, it's because Taurus is still cautiously calculating, fearing that hating directly will be detrimental to themselves. They reason, what if the other child has something useful in the future? Therefore, they don't hate it. When you have useful values, Taurus will act as if nothing happened and make the first move to approach you. Despite their assertions that they are assertive individuals. Good, talk like never angry. This buffalo appears sincere and naive, but in reality, they always put their own interests first and live extremely well. Gemini's disrespectful manner of speech and conduct. You are the type of person with whom anyone can converse, but with whom it is difficult to get along. When Gemini dislikes a person, they will demonstrate this disdain through both words and actions. Typically, Gemini will attempt to consider everyone's opinion when speaking or working and will avoid interrupting. Consequently, being in this group of constellations is frequently welcomed and cherished by many individuals. In contrast, if a Gemini dislikes you, he or she will be extremely arrogant, disobedient, unreceptive to opinions, sulky, or frowning when you speak. When you approach and speak with them, they will also purposefully avoid your gaze or pretend to be preoccupied with someone else. Such an attitude sends the message, I despise you. Cancer. Disappear gradually from your world. Cancers don't typically make their hatred for others obvious, but they will attempt to avoid anything that involves you. When hating a person, they will not engage in dishonorable behavior such as blocking them on Facebook. Instead, they will discreetly unfollow or limit interaction so they no longer see each other every day to prevent eye irritation. On the inside, Little Crab hates, but on the outside, he is still friendly and smiles at you every day, making it difficult to realize that they hate you. When you hate someone, Cancer won't say, please go away, I hate you, but by the time you realize it, Cancer has long since vanished from your world. This sign does this because they dislike arguing or being asked why they hate, so they will peacefully fade away from the person's life. Leo. Disregard the opponent. Leos are frequently revered and admired for their extraordinary talent and vitality. When someone likes them, they are typically extremely generous, warm, and tolerant, never comparing or calculating. But once you hate someone, even if you try to hide it, Leo will continue to display disdain for the other in a variety of ways. Even breathing will be filled with hatred. Leo's affection often stems from admiration for a person's courage, integrity, and work ethic. Leo frequently dislikes a person due to that individual's dirty working attitude and way of life, so he despises and detests him. Looks like a hero, but Leo actually despises people who specialize in backstabbing and stoning. If you are despised by this constellation, you will be pinned regardless of what you do, so don't take the risk, bug fixer. Virgo. Don't clarify, I don't care. Most people associate Virgo with the concept of perfection when they think of this sign. But what many people don't realize is that Virgo's stubbornness extends beyond how they treat a loved one or close friend. Whoever is placed in the Virgo's sights will be inundated with expectations and demands from this sign. Contrary to the personalities of other zodiac signs, Virgo has no requirements for the person she despises, living or dying regardless of you. Virgo is naturally attentive to etiquette and courtesy, treating everyone with respect. She is beautiful, doesn't speak much, doesn't refuse, doesn't smile, and hides her face around the person you despise. In short, he is extremely apathetic and unenthusiastic, causing the other person to feel awkward and confused while they are powerless to do anything about it. People who are despised by this sign will perceive that they are being treated with sincerity and courtesy. They will be aware that they are despised but will remain calm. Virgo's tranquility will surprise them. Libra. Maintain distance until the opponent vanishes. Librans who pay attention to balance and coordination will not engage in unfriendly behavior towards a person they despise out of respect for their reputation. Their custom is to gradually alienate you. For instance, if they used to see you 4 times per week, they will gradually reduce it to once per week, finding sufficient excuses not to have to visit the individual they despise. The words used to communicate with you will gradually become less intimate and more impersonal. And you will frequently hear the words used by Libra in conversations with strangers transferred to you. They can continue doing this for an extended period of time without becoming bored. Libra is highly adaptable, so he adjusts his mental state throughout the process and maintains a constant state of equilibrium. This constellation does so because it is very averse to idle chatter. So its members will do their best to avoid being falsely accused by others, hating one another but maintaining the peace. This constellation is the apex of the scales. However, even if you despise people in the first place, Libra will not show it. They will smile politely at you. Scorpio. Apathetic indifference, as cold as ice. Scorpio has the most obvious likes and dislikes among the 12 constellations. According to the signs of the 12 zodiac signs that hate you, Scorpio clearly loves and hates, dares to love, dares to hate. Not only can they make the entire world aware of who they like, but when they dislike someone, those around them can see it at a glance. Knowable. This sign can completely disregard those they despise. Other constellations are unable to do this because they are still entangled with many things, such as face, fear of conflict, and the value of taking advantage. But Scorpio does not care about these things. Hatred is hatred. Regardless of your attractiveness, wealth, or power, you may be treated with indifference. Tiger, when despised. However, this constellation represents a person who is also very clear about public and private matters. Will not bring personal feelings to work, will be extremely public and private during work hours, but at the end of the day, you will know who they are. Polite. This signifies that they do not wish to see you again. Do not text or call in vain because they will not respond. Even on the same route home, 2 people will never accidentally meet, and if they do, it will be the same as if they had never met. Sagittarius. Want to pretend to be nice but can't. Sagittarius is naturally afraid of trouble, even though he hates a person but is very secretive. They believe that if they let the other person know that they are hated, it will be very troublesome. The human body is intricate. Unfortunately, Sagittarius lacks the ability to conceal its emotions and thoughts among the other 12 constellations. The distinction between the kindness a Sagittarius exhibits when they like someone and the kindness they pretend to exhibit to conceal their hate is particularly stark. If you are despised by a Sagittarius, you will be treated awkwardly and with consideration. All of this stems from the fact that Sagittarius is excessively afraid of annoying things occurring. Regardless of how much they despise you, this sign can still control you and treat you normally. Because they are always committed to maintaining peace and harmony, they lack the courage to boldly express their opinion to you. Hatred is an emotion, so even though you say you don't care about them at all, you still do because you hate them. Capricorn. Unpredictable attitude. Capricorn is extremely unmotivated when it comes to solving the problems of others. Whether you like or dislike them, they are relatively weak compared to other signs. Even if you are hated by a Capricorn, there will be no clear indication of this. In addition, Capricorns are typically a bit chic, and a bit serious in all aspects of life, making it difficult to determine whether they hate someone based on a single statement. Sometimes it's obvious that they're frowning when they're speaking to you, but I'm not sure whether they're complimenting or thanking you. It is also difficult to accept impolite language from others, so it is courteous to those nearby. If you are in their presence speaking nonsense or unintentionally using foul language, you will be taught moral until you are exhausted. The most unique characteristic of this constellation is that the more you are despised, the more you wish for your detractors to despise you even more. On the other hand, some Capricorns want to try the sweet honey to kill the flies method, which entails being nice to the person they despise before kicking them severely. Aquarius. Go speak negatively of you to others, but not directly. Aquarius, a somewhat eccentric individual who is also a bit hypocritical in nature, will also manifest a strong dislike for those he dislikes. It is not incorrect to use the term weird to describe Aquarius, as those born under this sign are rebellious and irresponsible, living in a colorful private world that few people are permitted to enter. No matter how much you love or hate someone, maintain a safe distance. Aquarius is typically not very adept at concealing his preferences. Once you despise a person, you will tell your friends about the things you dislike about them. It's not that Aquarius enjoys talking about others behind their back, and they don't fear that what they say will be heard and hated, rather, they wish for the other person to understand, what makes you hate me, so they can correct it. After a misunderstanding is resolved, Aquarius has a side that is innocent and gentle. They do not hold grudges and can be friends with people they once despised. If you are humble enough to do good, everything will be fine. Pisces. Hate but still try to be as tolerant as possible. Pisces boys and girls are inherently straightforward, clear, and rarely hold a grudge against someone too hard. Even if the other person has committed an extreme act, Pisces will still go to him and advise him. How can you live a happy life if you are constantly dwelling on the negative? Remain optimistic. Be superb. Therefore, Pisces can be tolerant of those they despise and try not to care about them in order to avoid saying hurtful things. In their presence, Pisces kept repeating yes, yes, but when they turned away, everything lost all significance. It is irrelevant what you say before. Pisces believes it is a waste of time and energy to hate someone. Instead, it is better to spend that time playing and caring for loved ones. Although Pisces is quite immature, sensitive, and dreamy, they treat others with a maturity and optimism that inspires envy.